Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if we're up. Let's see if we're running. Showtime, go time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's see who gets first, second, third place medal in the chat. Let's see if we're even up and awake. If we are, we'll be ready to rock and roll. If we're not, then I'll have to start over again. So, where we at? Where we at? Okay, we got it. We got it. All right. First place gold medal, Elizabeth King. Second place silver medal, MK. Jean Queen with the bronze this week. Travis, first loser. Annette, second loser. Chad, D. Bush, Mark P. bringing up the caboose. So Elizabeth King, gold medal. MK, silver medal. Jean Queen, bronze medal this week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As you guys know, if you guys have questions, that's what we're here for. We're not here for the Mickey Mouse or the okey doke, just here trying to help as much as possible. I'm going to tell you this now. Next week, I'm not going live at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. I'm going to go live at a different time. So right down here in the corner of the screen, right next to my name, there's a bell icon. After you hit the thumbs up button, which I am hitting right now, which is scientifically proven to give you a sale after you hit the thumbs up button. We got a record to beat 850 thumbs up. Can we beat 850 thumbs up? Yes or no? After you hit the thumbs up, you hit this little bell icon right here on the side, right next to my name. That will give you a notification when we go live next week on Wednesday. Telling you right now, I'm not going live at 8 p.m. So if you wish to see it live, you can always catch the replay. If you wish to see the live, hit the notification bell and we will be here and we will be rocking and we will be rolling. So if anybody has any questions, put 3 question marks in front of your question because the chat's going to be popping. And I want to make sure I knock out all the questions. And once I knock out all the questions, it's a wrap and the show is over. The game is over. We beat Eric with the receipt for today. Sometimes he beats us, but today he beat us, or we beat him with the receipt, and the receipt is looking lovely. Very good. All right, so today, eBay Open 2024, the good, the bad, the ugly. Did everybody watch eBay Open? I didn't watch eBay Open, and I can just refer to the ugly part. So I was minding my own business, and all of a sudden I had 25 messages in the DM, and I was like, something is wrong here. Did I upload a photo of something from my pocket? What's going on here? So 25 people DM me and they said that the CEO, the big guy at the eBay machine, referenced little old me in the keynote speech to kick off eBay Open. Truly an honor. It was totally unexpected. I had no idea they were going to do that. Kind of Bruce Wayne'd me in the moment, but hey, we take what we can get, right? So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate the mention during the open. Totally unexpected. I had no idea. Thank you to those folks who have reached out, sent me some pictures, and sent me some videos. I ended up catching the replay. So shout out to those guys. That part is the ugly part. So the good part, they did go over some things, a lot of things that are going to be beneficial for us. One of them is that they revamped the feedback. So hopefully, and I have been seeing initial reports of this, they're going to go maybe not be so strict on the feedback like they have been for the last 6 to 8 months. I think that they recognize and realize that they kind of stepped a little bit too far on one side. And it kind of looks like the pendulum is swinging back to being a little bit more fair. And they have a little bit more leeway in using their best judgment to help us with the feedback. So I've already had probably 3 or 4 people this week alone that said that they had negative feedback that was unjust and it was very easy to be removed. So that's good news. Was there anything bad that you guys felt from eBay Open 2024? The ugly, right here. We already got it. So we got some good. We got a new feedback policy or, a new feedback evaluation, which is great. There should be a little button underneath the feedback that allows you to appeal and get it removed right there. They're going to have some AI or some sort of robot look at it first. If it doesn't work, then they have a crack staff of highly trained individuals that can look at it after that. And hopefully we can get those taken care of, get those removed, because even me, like I have unjust feedback. I have negative feedback from people who didn't even pay. And, that goes against all the rules, all the regulations, all the bylaws of the eBay machine. But that's the way it went. So you didn't hear me complain. That's called life. So, couple people, new hat today. Do you guys know that this here is still a Florida hat. Who knows how this is a Florida hat? Who knows what this hat is, first of all, and who could tell me how this is still a Florida hat? Because as you guys know, all I do is rock hats for the home team. This one, even though you got to use your thinker. Jonathan says, no trash route today. We were talking about the scrap route last night on the Tuesday call. Isaiah said he was ready to jump on it. And then after further evaluation, Isaiah said he missed his scrap route and it's next Monday. So we'll have to reschedule it and do it another time. Trust me, I'm ready to rock and roll. We got Simon in the chat. Gentleman Marketeer, shout out to him. He's got some very nice videos on his channel. Check out his channel. He's from London. He has some nice videos. Check them out. We got Brian in the chat. Don, how we doing? How we doing? Question, why isn't eBay paying you to be a brand ambassador? I don't know. Don't want to be. I don't need to be paid by anybody. I don't need to be a paid shill. I'm going to come on here. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to give it raw. If it ain't right, I'm going to let you know. I don't need payment from anybody. I'm fine just the way I am. And for somebody to move me at this stage of the game, they got to come with the big bag. And I don't know if people are fully prepared to come with the big bag. So I don't need payment from anybody. I'm fully good. No problem is that. Indigo said they got a sale today and have 1 day shipping, but USPS near me is closed until Friday. What is the best thing to do? So if they are closed until Friday, the only thing that I can think of is they are closed until Friday because maybe potentially you are in the way of the hurricane that is going to come. And if you are in the way of the hurricane that is coming, eBay will release communication and they will protect you if there are natural disasters. So you are going to be fully protected on any late shipment that you send or any late shipment that does arrive due to a natural disaster. Now, sometimes those shipping defects still stick on our account and we got to call them and we got to stay on them and we got to call them. We got to stay on them because the longer they stay on, the less likely they are to be removed. So if you do get some late shipments that do stick, give them a ring, say, hey, I've been impacted by the weather. I've been impacted by this hurricane. I've been impacted by this natural disaster. Please help me out. And then they will be able to help you out. So if the post office is just closed for whatever reason and it is not a natural disaster, we get in our car and we go to a different post office. Go 20 minutes down the road, go 30 minutes down the road, whatever you have to do. If you are not impacted by a natural disaster, you have no excuse in eBay's eyes and the customer's eyes not to get that item shipped out. So if your local post office is closed just because, then go to your non-local post office and get the item shipped out. Games is Downer says, if you had to start all over, how would you go about learning everything about the niche? The same exact way, my friend. I would study the solds. I would be a sponge. I would always be on the lookout. I would be reading the news articles. I would be watching what celebrities and famous people and social media influencers are wearing. And all those items stick inside of my head like a steel trap. And I'm going to learn sell-through. I'm going to learn nuance. I'm going to learn why this particular shirt and this particular color sells for this particular price, just like on the Monday video. And if you haven't seen the Monday video, that might be the best haul I've ever done on the YouTube machine by far. There's several items in there that sell for hundreds of dollars profit each. A couple of them, there's an orange and blue striped polo shirt, the same exact polo shirt that Kanye West wore. People will list that shirt for $20. That shirt is worth $75 to $100 if you know the right thing. 2 people reached out and said they sold the yellow hat that I referenced for $20 on eBay, and that hat goes for several $100s because Eminem wore it at an award show. So we have to know these things if we don't want to get caught slipping. And this is the interesting part. Like, nobody wants to get caught slipping, but nobody wants to take the time to know these things. So like, we can't have it both ways. If we have no knowledge, then we can expect no price. If we have part of the knowledge, then expect part of the price. If we have all of the knowledge, then go ahead, reach for the stars for all of the price. So I would learn the same exact way. You know, learning the old-fashioned way is the best way. There's no other way to do it. The group has a tremendous amount of resources in there. It's the most comprehensive amount of resources about reselling anywhere on the internet and grows every single day. That is a great place. If you don't want to do that, I got tons of helpful videos on eBay, over 100 now. There's a lot of information on YouTube. There's a lot of information on eBay with the solds and the actives. There's information everywhere. We have to be a sponge and we have to absorb it. Brian says the YouTube algorithm favors thumbs up, likes if they're clicked mid or about 30 minutes into the video. Look, I'm just thankful for any thumbs up because I'm not worried about the algorithm. What I am worried about is we as a collective have to beat the record of 850 thumbs up. It's not a hard record to beat. There's going to be 3,000 people that come into this chat over the course of the next hour. We just need 851 of you fine folks to hit the thumbs up and we can beat a record. I would like to beat a record today. Today sounds like a great, marvelous day to beat a record. Eric says, the Portland Sea Dogs, you're right, that is the hat. And this hat is a Florida hat because they were originally the first minor league affiliation team of the Florida Marlins from 1994 to 2002. Now they are the minor league affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. So I wore this one for Eric because Eric lives up in the Pacific Northwest. And by default, this is the minor league team for my hometown, Florida Marlins. So here you go. Portland Sea Dogs, great hat. Great hat sells on eBay as well. Sarah says she just jumped on from Australia. And you had a beautiful hat last night as well. And I saw you got an offer for 105. Did it sell yet, or are you still holding on to it? If I have my drafts and list X number every day versus scheduling X a day every day, does this help the algorithm? I've heard both are getting a seller notice. I hope that makes sense. So I speak in fact. I speak in, what eBay's exact communication is. And when I do not speak in fact, I will say this is my opinion. I will say that I'm speculating, and I am going to speculate here based on my own data that I've seen and that we've seen from others in the group. And I'm not going to go way into it because it gets very convoluted, but we have seen better traffic, better results when the listings are manually listed from the draft bank versus scheduled listed from the scheduled listings. If you manually click submit the listing, we have seen better results over the listing going live as scheduled. Now, we can only speculate and say that when you do schedule a listing, for whatever reason, that listing is live on the back end of eBay, but not live on the front end to buyers. And perhaps you're missing that initial new listing bump because that listing has already been live for X amount of time before it's actually officially live on the eBay machine. Now, this is speculation. I tried scheduling my listings for about a week, and my sales, despite listing the same amount of items, the same type of items, being the most consistent person on the face of the earth on eBay.com, my sales were ridiculously horrible. I went back to launching them live, and my sales bounced back like nothing ever happened. So that is what I can lean on. We have seen other people share the same experience in the group, and we have seen other people show their traffic tabs in their data that shows the same experience. So you guys are free to list them however you wish. It is my personal opinion that it is better to launch them than to schedule them, but you're free to run your own experiments as well, and that is great for everybody to do. Paul says, question, I've been a full-time reseller for 16 years. Would I still benefit from the group? Why not? There's people that's been on eBay for 20 years still getting tips and tricks from the group. Look, even if you know everything about reselling, just to be involved with people that are talking about it, that's what I prefer. That's what I like. There are always people doing better than us. There are always people doing smarter things than us. Every call could have one tip. There's people that, take one tip for the entire year, and that tip totally transforms their business to go to another level. So, we talked about something on the 100K call, and I made a recommendation, and somebody who runs a very beautiful business around $1 million a year off that one tip is going to make thousands and thousands and thousands of more dollars. And they said that was worth being in the group for the entire year, that one tip alone. So I think that there's stuff that we're not thinking about. There's stuff that we can be listening to get ourselves into a different mind. Even if you know everything about everything, I just want to be involved in people talking about business, doing better, being positive, being productive. That helps me personally. Um, Eric got it. Originally associated with the Florida Marlins. That's right. Top rated plus seller, but still not eligible for international shipping program. What gives? So on eBay, it tells you that they will assess your account after it's met certain criteria. However, they don't identify the certain criteria. So Claude, you just got to keep trucking, and eventually eBay will open you up. It sounds like you have a little bit of a newer account. Indigo said that they were in Florida, so it is for the hurricane. Yes, if you are in Florida and you are going to be impacted shipping wise, eBay will cover you. They will release communication, and you will be fully covered on that. And in those events, I always send a message and say, "Hey, I apologize. I'm in line of the hurricane. The post office is closed. Your package is my top priority." Every single person has said, "Don't worry about the package. Be safe. It's all good." You mentioned last week that you were made aware of some concerning things coming on the horizon. Can you elaborate, or is that for a future video? Yeah, so I'm still gathering my thoughts on that because, being part of the YouTube machine and speaking to all of you fine folks, I have to come on here and I have a responsibility and a duty to make sure that what I'm saying is correct and it is not misleading. It's not conspiracy theory. It's not sky is falling. It's not the world is over. That's not me. So I have to be very careful with the words that I choose to say, and there is a heavy burden and heavy responsibility. So there are a lot of things that I'm thinking about, and I will give those thoughts shortly based on some of the things that I have seen in regards to the future of reselling. So probably that video will come out in a couple of weeks, and hopefully it's enlightening, and hopefully we can be proactive rather than reactive, and hopefully position ourselves or pivot to make sure that it's most beneficial for us and our business. Very good, very good. Make sure you get the questions with some question marks before the question. That way I don't accidentally skip you. Where are we? Do you listen to your intuition? That's all we got, man. Hello, please, someone trying to cancel after I shipped an order. So eBay has revised the cancellation policy a couple of weeks ago, where a buyer now has the opportunity to cancel anytime up until you print the label and mark the item as shipped and insert the tracking number. Previous to this, the buyer had 1 hour to submit a cancellation, either after they won or after they've paid. Now they give you all the way to the time up until you have printed the order and shipped the item. So if you have already shipped the item, you can cancel or deny their cancellation, and you have 100% coverage on eBay against any negative or neutral feedback. Sarah says she did not sell for the 105 Australian US dollars or Australian dollars. Okay. I got hit with a case not closed, even though I kept the customer updated with the claim I filed with USPS. I was waiting for an email, and eBay closed the case and gave a refund. That's absolutely correct, because you were made aware of the date that you were to resolve this case, and you did not resolve this case, satisfy it with a tracking number that confirmed delivery. So inside of the group on December 12th, 12/12, we have a great call in the morning call section called Seller Protections that every single person should listen to probably once a month. And inside of the Seller Protections call, we go over this exact situation and scenario. Unless you satisfy this case with a tracking number that shows confirmed delivery by the date that it says on the case, you will lose that case every single time. Now, if the item has a recent scan is defined, any scan within the last 10 days, you can call eBay, you can have them look at the item not received case, they can look at the tracking number and confirm it does have a recent scan, and eBay will put the case on hold for an additional 10 days. Once the item has been received, you call eBay back, eBay will close the case in your favor. If you did not satisfy that item not received case with a confirmed tracking number that says delivered, if you did not call eBay and tell them and show them that there has been a recent update, a recent scan in the last 10 days, that case will close. You will lose your money, you will lose your item, and you will get a defect on your account for case closed without seller resolution. We all have to read the guidelines on ebay.com if we want to be able to win at this game. If we cannot win at this, if we cannot read the rules and regulations, we will never be able to win the eBay game. All of this is in black and white inside of our seller protections. All of this is in black and white on our new feedback protections. All of this is in black and white on our cases opened and resolved. All of it's in black and white. We have to read it. If we do not read it, we are going to get defects on our account. And if you get any sort of out of stock defect, you get any sort of case closed without seller resolution defect, those are the two worst defects that you can get on eBay. You don't get a tremendous amount of them before they start to punish your account. So again, to recap it, if somebody opens up an item not received case, and we go over this right in the beginning of the 12-12 call in the morning call section. If somebody opens up an item not received case and it's marked delivered, you upload the tracking number, you move on with your day, you're going to be fully covered. If someone opens up an item not received case and the item has not been received, you open up a missing mail claim with the post office, you get on the horn, you call the post office, you practice good customer service and buy yourself time with the customer and let them know again, this is my 100% top priority of getting you your item. I don't care if the item is $4. To the customer, this is 100% my top priority is resolving this and making sure that you get your item. This is my top priority. Practice good customer service, open up a missing mail claim. If it has a scan in the last 10 days and it's 1 day before that date is on there, before the customer can escalate or before eBay is going to step in, if we have a recent scan, we hop on the phone, we call eBay and say, hey, we have a recent scan. Can you please put this case on hold? They'll say, no problem. You have an additional 10 days to continue to practice good customer service, continue to reiterate to the customer that this is your top priority, and continue to be on the lookout for a confirmed delivered tracking number. If you cannot get a confirmed delivered tracking number and there is no update after 10 days, you will have to issue a refund to the buyer. You issue a refund to the buyer, you apologize, you say, I shipped it out on time. This is my utmost apology. Here's a coupon to my store. We can upsell them. Here is a coupon to my store. Feel free to send an offer on another item and I will give you the best deal that I possibly can. After you refund them, if you've printed the label on eBay, you printed the label on Pirate Ship, Ground Advantage and Priority Mail, all of this is covered in the guidelines. Ground Advantage and Priority Mail both come with $100 of insurance for free. If you purchase the label on eBay, you purchase it on Pirate Ship, you get a free $100 insurance. After you've already issued a refund, you file a claim with the post office and let them know your item has been lost and they will pay you out with an insurance. That is how we deal with item not received cases. And that is all covered along with every single instance of what we need to do in every single situation that can be brought to us from a customer on a case or from eBay in the 12-12 seller protection call. And that's the kind of stuff that we talk about in the group. So we don't have to be Tony who loses our money and gets a strike on our account for case closed without seller resolution. So hopefully this information will help Tony. So that way, if he ever comes up on this kind of thing again, he knows how to navigate and he can maneuver for the safety and well-being of his business and for his account. How do you think AI will affect eBay in the future? It will have a drastic effect in the future. We got Michelle, Reseller Project. Shout out to Michelle. How are the thumbs up going? Have we beat the record yet? I'm not sure, but I think I'm coming with the heat today. And we got to get 850. Where are we with the thumbs up? Can someone in the comments let me know, where are we with the thumbs up? And also, where are we coming from today? Where is everybody tuning in? We got Sarah from Australia. Anybody here from the UK? Anyone here from Europe? Anybody here far away from me, close to me? Where are we at? Delilah says they've graduated to need a store subscription, took advantage of my quarterly coupon. Now to spend time on setting up a store discount, little strides, slow gains. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you as well. Since you did bring up the store coupon, every single person in the chat, we should open up a new tab. And if you have a store, type in on the Google machine, eBay store subscriber discount, eBay store subscriber discount. Type it in, eBay store subscriber discount. We all get a coupon from eBay to buy shipping supplies, whether it is tape, whether it is boxes, whether it is poly bags, whether it is stickers, whatever your heart desires. We all get an eBay subscriber coupon. That coupon is set to expire on October 1st, and we will get a new quarterly coupon on October 1st. So make sure, open up a new tab right now, type in eBay subscriber store discount coupon. It will bring you to the screen. If you have the smaller level store, you get 25 bucks. If you have an anchor store, you get $150 as a coupon. So make sure you are using the coupon. If you do not use the coupon, you will lose the coupon. What is the best way to ship basketball cards? Just a regular envelope with a stamp. So they have the eBay standard envelope, which is very cheap, and it does satisfy what eBay is looking for in terms of tracking. So if it's an inexpensive card, perhaps you can do that. And it is very inexpensive. If it is more expensive, we want to make sure that we put it into a top loader. We want to make sure that we put it into a soft plastic, put it into the top loader, put a little painter's tape on top of it, maybe sandwich it between a little bit of cardboard, put that thing into a bubble mailer, and then you'd be ready to roll. Where are we? Find and Flip Good A Tech. So they are from Australia. Shout out to them. All right. Beauty Chic Boutique says she hit the like button. She hit the thumbs up button. She got a Poshmark sale. I'm telling you guys, if you hit the thumbs up, you will get a sale. I'm telling you. Michael stopped by to smash the like button. Appreciate that. How many members are in the group? Over 2,000. Around 2,500 total on the Patreon machine. Have you ever witnessed or encountered other resellers at the thrift or at the bins that are getting favoritism from the staff? How do you handle it? I've seen it before. I've seen just about everything. I didn't let it bother me. I beat them because I knew more. And if there's nothing there, I stop going there and I go somewhere else. DMNC says we're about to hit 100K. Congratulations. Justin Revere is here. Let's go. The chat jumped. I'm in trouble right now. All right, here we go. Chat jumped. I'm back in action. Start listing on my other eBay account that is top rated or weighted out with my current above standard account with 2,000 listings. So if you do try to list items and circumvent any sort of eBay penalty on your account, that is a good candidate for a suspension. They don't like you circumventing penalties on your account. Where are we? Have you ever tried listing on your phone? No, I use the computer. The phone does not have all aspects of the listing. And I want to have all aspects of the listing because I want to give the customer and eBay the most amount of information that I can. So I can get better placement in search. And Omar, I've already answered your question, my friend. You might have to go back, 3.5 minutes, but it's over there. Just got a Vero on a vintage Canon charger. What's the likelihood of eBay putting the brakes on my store? Hopefully, we do not relist that item. It might have been a non-OEM item, and maybe we were saying it was for Canon. They don't appreciate that. So do not relist the item. If you get continuous Veros on the same type of items, the punishment is more strict, more harsh. Will they put the brakes on your store? I mean, it's just speculation, but it sure does feel like it for a couple of days. Let me ask the chat. If you've received a Vero, does it feel like eBay puts the brake on your store and puts you in timeout for a couple of days? That's speculation, not rooted in any fact. Do I need to keep USPS delivery receipts or even get them as long as I print the label through eBay? You do not, because eBay will upload the confirmed acceptance scan and you're all good. How do you send coupons to customers? So you can go right on your seller hub, and if you have a store, you can go to your marketing tab, and inside the marketing tab, they have coupons, they have buyer groups, they have newsletters. You can send coupons during offers to watchers. You can print out little thank you notes and put a coupon in there. So you could do it a whole bunch of different type of ways. But the newsletter is a good vehicle for it. Buyer groups is a great vehicle for it. Including them in your offers to watchers is a great vehicle for it. And also the flyer is a great vehicle for it. Can you please discuss feedback from sellers to buyers? How does eBay view leaving feedback to buyers? Thank you, Deborah. I have great news for you. There's only one type of feedback that we can leave a buyer, and that is a positive feedback. So if you want to leave a negative feedback for a buyer, you cannot. So just leave a positive. It's no use in holding it hostage. We only have one feedback to give. Would you please go over sending a newsletter and what it should contain? A newsletter should contain pertinent information on any sort of items that you have, any sort of offer that you wish to convey, any sort of coupon or sale that you are making your listings more attractive and more enticing. Pretty much, what would you like to receive in a newsletter? Do you want to receive a huge mile-long newsletter full of a lot of junk? Do you want to receive a newsletter with, you know, a great offer that's highly enticing, that has, you know, exact instructions on how to do something? That's the newsletter that I prefer to send out. How does USPS insurance work? Is the amount of insurance the amount a buyer paid or the amount you receive after the fee? So for USPS insurance, as we've mentioned a couple of minutes ago, and I believe that this question is referencing, if you print a Ground Advantage label and or a priority label on eBay or Pirate Ship, it comes with free $100 insurance. If you sold an item for $12, you do not get $100 insurance. You get insurance coverage for what the item was worth. So we got 250 likes. That's it, guys. We're 600 likes below the record. Can we beat a record today? Please. I want to win something. I haven't won anything all day. Very good. We got someone here from Northern Ireland. Shout out to Sabina. Let's go. Simon again from London. Very good. Simon, last night we were talking to Arwen and we were talking about London, and I pulled up the map and I said, hey, this other guy's over here and he's eating your lunch. And I was getting Arwen kind of riled up. And I said, look, Simon's over here in this direction. He goes, Simon's not over there. I say, yeah, Simon's over here. You showed me one time when you were here. And he's like, that's not where Simon is. He goes, Simon's in this city. And I zoomed in on the map, and exactly where I was pointing was that city. How in the world, Arwen, I'm talking to you, how in the world, Arwen, do I know the UK better than you know the UK? And I've never even been there, mate. All I know is that you showed me London, and I refer to it as a clock, and I knew what side of the clock Simon lived at because I remember you told me, and it was right there. So London's right in the middle. We got some guys on this side. We've got Arwen up here. We've got Simon. It's just like a clock. But Arwen was like, he doesn't live over there. Sure enough, he did. As a part-time reseller, my biggest challenge is sourcing enough to list 8 items a day. Any tips on sourcing bulk items to list online once a month so I can spend more time listing? If you're having trouble getting 8 items a day, definitely 1000% do not start buying bulk. 8 items a day is highly manageable. You need to just give yourself more knowledge, and you need to give yourself more opportunities. And we were thinking about this, and I've been saying this a couple of days, you know, the last couple of days in the group. So you guys see me on the videos. I'm going to flea markets 1 hour away, 3 or 4 hours away, 6 hours away. I went to Georgia to flea markets. I go for where the best items are, and I get the best items for the best price that I can. That's my philosophy. That's what I do. Where everybody else seems to disregard where the best items are, I'm just going to go to the bins that's closest to my house. So what if I came on here and gave you the advice and said, hey, everybody, disregard where the best items are. Just go to the closest thrift store to your house and shop there only. Disregard where the best items are. Just go to the closest bins and go there 7 days a week only. Does that not sound utterly ridiculous? Disregard where the best items are. Don't go there and just go to the closest thrift store to your house. And then we wonder why we can't find anything. And we wonder why other people are finding better items than us. So I'm going to come on here and like make an official recommendation. Don't go to where the best items are. Just go to the closest thrift store to your house and don't go anywhere else. Doesn't that sound absolutely ridiculous? And if we think about it, that's what we're doing, guys. Disregarding where the best items might be, and we just go to the closest bins location to our house 7 days a week and come home and take the best that they got, even though the best that they got is trash. Unbelievable. Would you use a Herman Miller chair for long days at the computer? I use an IKEA chair. Bree says, never understood why the phone app doesn't have the description field. I'm not sure. Creative Home Services finally made alive. How are you? Did you send all your shirts in poly bags? Ever have a time where a bubble mailer or a box? So all the shirts get put in a poly bag for us. If it's very expensive, meaning like $300, $400, $500, I will put that one in a poly bag and put that one into a box, and then maybe get a signature confirmation. Simon, where would you prefer to visit in London? The Tower of London or the Borough Marketplace? What interests? Well, the Tower of London sounds more interesting than the Borough Market food market. What do you guys say in the chat? For those folks that have never been to the UK, would you rather see the London Tower or the Borough food market? I'm going London Tower. I could just get Macca's, or what's the one that Arwen said? What's the one that's not as good as Chick-fil-A? You guys got to put it in the chat. What is the chicken restaurant over there that's not as good as Chick-fil-A? And Arwen started a whole ride with that. We don't have it here. Media selling on eBay. Why is it hard to ask for premium prices on, whereas Amazon, people pay the price they do? Is it because of Amazon Prime? It is a little bit because of Amazon Prime, and it's also because of the format of the listing, where Amazon has one listing and that's it. Where eBay, they can scroll, 45,000 listings in order to find a price that they want. Don just used the coupon today. Very good. Very good. Oh, I remember. Arwen says that Chick-fil-A is better than Nando's. In the chat, people that have had both, is Chick-fil-A better than Nando's? He took one bite and he said Chick-fil-A is better than Nando's and almost started an international incident. All right, let me catch up in the chat. Would you do a sourcing trip in the Keys? Absolutely. Remember, guys, help me out here. There's a lot of questions that don't have 3 question marks in the beginning, and it makes it difficult because the chat is popping. The chat jumps up back and forth. Put question marks in front of the question. I want to catch everybody. I don't want to miss anybody. Is there an easier way to track inventory accounting in the group? We do have several spreadsheets in the group. We do have the accounting call on Wednesdays with an accountant. We do have methods and ways to show how to keep track of an average cost of goods. But we do have a bunch of files and things like that in the group. So Mike, just make a post and we can link you to those resources. No problem, no doubt. Which is the best selling method for rare items, buy it now or auction style? I mean, it really depends. If it is rare, auction may be more viable. And maybe you can look at other similar items that are kind of in the ballpark of that one. See if they've been listed as an auction. Click on the listing and see how many bids that auction had. Did it have 1 bid or did it have 51 bids? If it had 51 bids, I would be more confident. If it had 1 bid, hey, in order for the price to go up, we need more than 1 bid. Can it be assumed that if an item says made in China that it is not vintage? I don't know if we can make that assumption in 2024 because items made in 2004 are now vintage. Thanks for all the help on the Fruit of the Loom Pink Floyd sweatshirt. It's funny because that Fruit of the Loom tag that you showed me is a pretty rare tag. And I promise you, I saw the same tag on a sweatshirt. This is a blank sweatshirt. The next morning at the flea market up in Plant City. And then I thought about that message. How do you handle a return to sender, no such number, unable to forward? I shipped the item, post office returned to me. Great. I would issue them a refund. I would withhold the original shipping because the original shipping went to the post office, didn't come to me. I would send the buyer a message and let them know that their address is incorrect or there's some kind of issue. I would list the item again, and I would send them the link to the new item and tell them they can feel free to purchase it again. Please fix the listing, or please fix your address before purchasing. I counter offered an offer for a few more dollars, 18 to 20, and they countered offered me 17. Should I block them? Eric, if you are blocking people because they counter you 17 when you want 18, you're going to have no customers left to sell to, my friend. How do you determine where the best items are? You got to go out and you got to go. The grass, as far as sourcing, 99% of the time, the grass is greener on the other side. You might think you got it good right here. You might think you have a great supplier, but sometimes we got to step outside of our comfort zone and we got to go somewhere else. We had Autumn on the call today, and Autumn loves to go to the bins, and she does fantastic over there. And she said she wasn't hitting at the bins today, so guess what she did? She went to a thrift store a couple miles down the road that she'd never been to, and guess what? She found Laurel Piana, she found Suit Supply, she found a bunch of crazy shoes, a bunch of crazy blazers, and that store has always been there. She just didn't go. So guys, disregard where the best items are. Only go to the closest, most convenient thrift store to your neighborhood. Don't go to where the best items are. Just go to the closest, most convenient place to your house is, and only go there. That's it. Most expensive Kobe item you have ever sold? I have sold a Kobe, and these are rare, so open up a new tab. I have sold a Nike Kobe Bryant Destroyer jacket. The one that I had was a very nice butter soft brown leather, and I ended up getting $2,000 for it. It's a Nike Kobe Bryant Destroyer jacket in brown leather. There was actually a picture of him wearing it for the Nike ad, and I ended up selling it for $2,000. Good question. A lot of people are saying food market. A lot of people are saying London Tower. I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Simon. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? What is your best tip for speeding up photos? I own the reseller ruler and an actual camera. To get a good cadence, get a good rhythm, to take the pertinent photos that the customer needs to make an informed buying decision, and take those photos and those photos only. That's it. No any extra fancy photos or anything like that. But you got to get a good cadence. You got to get a good dance. Make sure your items are very close to you so you're not walking 3 or 4 feet in every single direction. Because if you list 20 a day, you've added 80 steps. You know, that might be dang near a quarter mile. So make sure everything is set up so you don't have to pivot. You don't have to do anything crazy. And I show in my very, very first video, it's not hard to find. Go to my channel, click oldest. And inside of that video, I show how to take photos. And I'm going slow in under 30 seconds. All right, next. Is there a way to enlarge the source photos when using Terapeak? On the computer, you could do it. You can zoom in on the computer. You could probably zoom in on your phone, but you'd have to zoom in on your computer. So if you own a Mac with a trackpad, you just kind of go like this and pinch outwards, and it will zoom in. If you have a Microsoft or even a Mac, you can go up to the top toolbar and press View. And then in there, it has zoom in or zoom out. You can also use the symbol that kind of looks like a 4-leaf clover, like this one, and press that and the plus or minus, and that'll zoom in and zoom out as well. Should I do a 20% off sale every weekend? I don't know. Is 20% going to put you out of business because you're no longer profitable? Not sure. Button up or button down? Well, if it's in regards to beating a record today, it is the thumbs button up. If you're a hater, then hit the thumbs button down. It's your choice. We're just looking for engagement here, people. So thumbs up if we're trying to beat a record of 850. So button up or button down. Button down is an actual style of shirt which refers to the collar actually buttoning down to the shirt. So if it does not have the actual collar button and the little collar slit, then it is technically not a button down. Are all liquid blue t-shirts with the skull, lightning bolt, Grateful Dead? Not all of them. I have 5+ stores I go to for sourcing and can't seem to find anything, which I find hard to believe. Does the group provide brands to be on the lookout for? So we do have the deep dive document, which is a humongous resource of a tremendous amount of brands. In order to get access to the deep dive document, you have to submit a deep dive. It takes 10 to 15 minutes. And once you learn how to do a deep dive, that's half the battle. You've taught yourself how to fish. You're not just looking for someone to give you fish. And then you'll have access to the deep dive document. There's hundreds of brands in there. You could do that. You can join the Wednesday morning call, the show and tell call, where every single week people are showing fantastic stuff. I learn a new brand or two every single week as well. We have the Wednesday show and tell call, and all the calls all the time, they're talking about brands, they're talking about styles, they're talking about patterns, this and that. We also have ways how to research in the group, how to comp in the group, how to find similar items in the group, what words to search. We have everything. It's the most comprehensive amount of information anywhere in the world. Elizabeth says, how do you send a link to your eBay item? So you could go to ebay.com/str/your store here, and that will link them to your store. Or you can go to ebay.com/ I believe it's ITM/ the item number. Let me see if that's still correct. Sometimes they change it up. Yeah, that's it. ebay.com/item and then the item number, and that will bring it up as well. But if you want to link them to your store, it's ebay.com/str/your store name here. And like Bree say, yeah, we also have the zip code call in the group that can help you identify brands that you can actually find in your area. So like if you watch my videos, like the one on Monday, you'll see, hey, this guy finds 100 pieces of Lululemon every time he goes to the flea market. That's great for me because I live in South Florida. A lot of people wear athleisure wear, but I don't find a lot of Filson. Filson is from Seattle. I don't find a lot of Aviator Nation. That's from California. I don't find a lot of Dixon. That's from Arizona. I don't find a lot of LL Bean. That's from Freeport, Maine. I don't find a lot of Carhartt. That's from Detroit. So like, I don't find all of these things because I don't live in those neck of the woods. So like, if you watch my videos and you live in Kalamazoo and you see me finding Lululemon, you see me finding Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, all of this stuff, it might not be in Kalamazoo. So you got to do the zip code call, and the zip code call can actually show you what you can actually find in your area. Do you still use the same Canon camera as always? Do you think it's still elite level, or are smartphones getting better? That's from Simon, the gentleman marketeer. So I still use the same Canon. The phones are fantastic, and if people want to use them, no problem. The trouble that people run into with the phones is that the phone has software embedded by default. So that way, when you take a picture, you look fantastic. You don't look like that in real life. There's software on the computer that makes you look fantastic. So like you take a picture, bang, you look like an absolute superstar. It does the same thing when we take pictures of our items. There's software embedded in there to sometimes make the item appear a little bit better, a little bit brighter, a little bit sharper than what the item actually is. So you have to be a little bit careful of that. For me, I use the camera. The camera doesn't get text messages. The camera doesn't send or receive phone calls. The camera doesn't have Instagram on it. The camera doesn't have TikTok on it. I use the camera, I get my work done, and then I can go do something else after that. Nightshade Jelly, thank you for all you do. I just picked up a Filson work shirt because of your videos. There you go. You paid for a month in the group with one tip. Do you have an option in your group to have someone review my eBay PM my store? Absolutely, send it over. Bree's got it right. Button down is the collar, button up is the closure. You got it. Do you think you will ever do wholesale clothing to international customers? We're working on that, Mr. Simon. Currently, as we speak, working on it. 100K versus 100K is getting wholesale with great items versus sourcing great items make one a less of a reseller since it's easier for them since great items delivered to them. I mean, Mike, at the end of the day, 100K is 100K. The money is just as green on both sides of the fence. Look, dare me to sit at home and list rather than sourcing 40 hours a week. My bank account is just as green as the person that's doing the sourcing. Can you have more than one business account, and would you recommend it if you have more than one niche? So I think if you're going to go full out branded, you know, John's Fishing Lures, and all you're going to do is fishing lures, fine. If it's just going to be, if it's not going to be that in depth, I personally don't think there's a lot of bang for the buck in separating the store. That's my personal opinion, because it's double photos, double listing, double cancellations, double return requests, double newsletters, double offers to watchers. You just got to do everything double. We hit 500 likes. Let's go. We only need 350 more. And guys, I have almost beat the record. Almost beat the record of getting out here as quick as I've ever gotten out of here, because I've almost beat the chat. And once I beat the chat, it is a wrap. Once I beat the chat, it's game over, and this will be the shortest show and tell Q&A that we've ever done right here. Like Mike Joe said, I got y'all on the ropes. Moochie Dog says, I called everybody ugly. No, I said I was the ugly part of eBay Open. When they put my mug on the keynote from the CEO to kick off the eBay Open, they had some good, some nice revised feedback policies. Maybe they had some bad that you guys would know about, but the ugly was definitely me. There wasn't nothing else ugly about the eBay Open except for me. That was it. So I was minding my own business, and a bunch of people started sending me pictures of my ugly mug on the eBay Open screen with the CEO referencing me and everything that I got going on. Here's a little short video. That's the CEO right there. That's the big man. And there's me on the screen. Can you believe that? They didn't tell me. They didn't give me no heads up. They didn't tell me nothing. All I know is I got a lot of messages, and there I am on the screen. And the big man, the CEO, he Bruce Wayne'd me, but we take whatever we could get. So for me, I'm the ugly part of eBay Open. There was some good, there was some bad. I'm the ugly. If I have a lot of low value items that struggle to sell on eBay or whatnot, would you recommend taking them to Plato's Closet type store? Whatever we got to do, wherever we got to take them, wherever we got to send them to, at best, turn a profit, even if it's a small profit, at worst, break even, get our original investment back, and give ourselves another opportunity. Is there a way to stop photos from coming in reverse when uploading to eBay? Are you referring to sideways or not in the proper mode? You need to research EXIF data, EXIF, EXIF data. EXIF data is the data that is embedded into the picture that shows the orientation, whether or not it's going to be landscape or portrait. There are some browsers and there are some cameras that do not embed EXIF data and do not read EXIF data. So for me, another reason why I use the camera that I use is because it does not embed EXIF data. And the reason why I use the absolute specific browser that I use is because this specific browser doesn't read EXIF data. So if your pictures are coming in sideways, different kind of orientations, you need to research EXIF data, EXIF data. You can tell I've been on eBay way too long when I know about EXIF data and picture orientation uploading to the computer. I've been on eBay too long, guys. Is there a video somewhere with your huge Grateful Dead dead stock haul? Man, that was before I jumped on the YouTube machine. So That had to be what, 3 years ago? I have a video on Instagram of the Grateful Dead. When was that? That was 2020, October 24th, 2020. And there's 1,000 Grateful Dead shirts. I paid $50 each. I ended selling them for an average of $250 each. They took about a year, but I made about 200,000 bucks off that deal. But that was before I started doing YouTube. So that's only on Instagram. And guys, there is so much crazy stuff that I should have documented that I did not document that would make your head spin. Tristan says they recognize the hat. Do you recognize how this is still a Florida Marlins hat? Because that was the question at the top of the chat. And even though this is the Portland Sea Dogs, this is the minor league affiliate of the Florida Marlins from 1994 to 2002. So we are still representing for the home team. Is there any benefits to running a business account? Yeah. You know, they do have certain thresholds, especially in the UK for personal and business accounts. So you got to be on the up and up in the UK to make sure, because if not, they will send you an email and they'll say, hey, time to switch. You got to go over to a business account. If you are a business, run as a business account. If you are operating and conducting yourself as a business, my personal opinion is not tax advice or financial advice. Probably best to do a business account. Hunter said they joined the group. How do I get to the different calls? Drop an introduction post in the group. I'll give you a link to the document. Here's the link as well. Here you go, Mr. Hunter. Click on all of these sections, and here are all of the replays for the entire history of the group. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of replays in the group. So down there, Hunter, click on that. That's our call schedule. You can click on all the replays, and they're right there for you. Here we are. Kylie says they just stopped by to hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you're looking for someone to organize the shipping for wholesale in the UK, my husband is a shipping clerk. Excellent. Thank you very much. Top tips transitioning from my basement to a storage unit. If you're going to move everything, move it on a Friday, and then move it on a Friday, and then get it all set up hopefully by Monday. So you could take it over a little bit at a time. You're going to have a little bit of a split situation. You could also start a new system in the storage unit, keep working out of the old one, and kind of have like an A-B situation. Anything listed before this SKU or this date is still home. Everything listed after that is over here. You're going to have a little bit of a split situation, or move it over there on a Friday, get it all set up for Monday, and be ready to rock and roll. So Brand Find says, they didn't tell you they would share your business. I can put my hand to the sky, and I swear on my son's life, the eBay machine did not tell me that they were going to put me on the board during the keynote speech from the CEO and give me the Bruce Wayne treatment. I had zero idea. All I know is like 25 people messaged me, and I thought I got canceled for something. Something happened, and it was ending up this guy put me on the screen. I had zero idea they were going to put me on the screen for this. Absolutely zero idea. John, he always asks this question about the Gary Vee video. How do we make that happen? I might be going over there again. I went over there last October. I might be going over there again in the next couple of weeks, maybe. Stay tuned. I want to travel when my kids are out of school. Would that be possible with this kind of business? I've sold on eBay casually for 5 years. It is possible. If you have small enough inventory, you could take it with you. You can train somebody back home to ship your items. You can put your store on time away or vacation mode and resume business when you come back into town. So either take your inventory with you, specialize in smalls, train somebody to ship for you when you're gone, or extend your handling time, or do vacation mode. How do I get the reseller ruler? You can go to resellerruler.com, or you can go to resellergreatness.com. Do you sell military stuff at the brick and mortar store? I do sell some military stuff at the brick and mortar store. They like the camouflage pants. They like the camouflage shirts. the button ups. I also have sold the cold weather parkas, especially the one with the Gore-Tex, on eBay many times, no problem. But I do sell it over there as well. Do you have any? You guys are on the ropes, guys? You guys are on the ropes. Do you have any tips with coming up with reselling while traveling? I'm looking to travel frequently between New York and Lima, Peru. Yeah, absolutely. You got to go on Google. You got to put boots on the ground. You just got to go out there and you got to figure out where the items are. So like when I go to New York City, it's my job, my obligation, my duty to figure out where the best items are. And when the best items are found, that's what I got to do. I got to go out and I got to find them. So they are on Google. You can go on Google Maps. You can search. We show how to do this in the morning call section where I show how to find the best flea markets, best thrift stores, best garage sales. There's a lot of tips and tricks you can do with Google Maps that not a lot of people know. And a lot of stuff is on Google, but you got to search it a certain way and you got to do certain things to find places out there. Robert says they hit the thumbs up button and they got their sale. Let's go. Mike says tech wholesale domination. Maybe one day. I have a goal to sell 25,000 items a day. Right now, we're up to 4,000 items a day, so we're working on it. Is there a bigger benefit to replenishable listings with sold quantities? Just realized one of my lists is expired due to out of stock. Going to relist the item next week. So if you do the out of stock option, it can go to 0. And when it goes to 0, once you replenish, you can retain all the history of the listing, click through conversion, sales, good feedback, all of that will come back rather than now you have to start over. So if I was selling replenishables, I would absolutely, without a doubt, go into the out of stock option. And to click the out of stock option, you can go up to the left into your account, and then you scroll down into seller preferences, and then you can click the box that says use out of stock option. Where are we? If you pay or hire someone to fill your orders after you make the sale, then do you give them access to your eBay account to see what's sold? You can, but they also have a multi-user interface where you can give them certain permissions on what they can see and what they cannot see. So you could do multi-user access, set them up with their own password, their own email account. You can hide your 90-day total so they don't know how much money you're making. You can show them only your shipping screen, and everything else is safe after that. What was your setup like when you were selling 50 a day? Same exact as when I was selling 250 a day. How to say Gore-Tex without saying Gore-Tex. So I have seen instances of people getting a Vero violation for using the word Gore-Tex, because Gore-Tex is a trademark named by the DuPont company. And the actual technical name for Gore-Tex is PTFE, which is polytetrafluoroethylene. Polytetrafluoroethylene is the actual scientific name of Gore-Tex. So if you do use the word Gore-Tex, I have seen people get a Vero from the DuPont Corporation because they do own the license and trademark name of Gore-Tex. You could put GTX perhaps. You could put waterproof, things like that. Do people get hit with Gore-Tex Veros all the time? No. So like, don't run everywhere across the internet and said, oh, this guy said you get a Vero for Gore-Tex. What I'm telling you is I have seen instances of people receiving a Vero from DuPont for using the word Gore-Tex, because Gore-Tex is a trademark name for that super long scientific what it actually is. You could put GTX, you could put waterproof, proceed however you wish. Is there a future in brick and mortar clothing stores when Gen Z seems to prefer shopping online for everything? It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. My brick and mortar store does fantastic. If you guys want to follow it, you may. We post a lot of very good vintage items on there. So if you want to learn about vintage, you want to learn about what's in style, you can follow the store. The Instagram is _Coral Springs. My brick and mortar store does great. There's a lot of items in there that are not really eBayable. They're still really cool, but like really hard to find on the eBay machine. And I still think people, like to come in, try stuff on for the experience. So I don't know. I think that there'll always be some sort of need for a physical location in some sort of capacity, at least in our lifetime. How do you inventory and store your hats that you have listed? We inventory them by date on shelves, so chronologically. When you clean out New York City, can you let us know location so we can follow up? No, sir. I'll only tell you once I've cleaned it all out. Unless that, no. Is there a specific date of a call in the morning call that explains finding the flea markets? There absolutely is. And it's also in the Start Here document. So that call is on 6/4, so June 4th, how to find flea market, thrift stores, and yard sales. That's on 6/4 inside of the morning call document. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Mike Joe says, how was your day? Living the dream. How many items a day were you selling? At the absolute peak eBay world domination, I was selling anywhere between 200 and 300 items a day, on average 250 items a day. Does the thumbs up guarantee a sale? eBay has gone black for them today. Can't go to bed without a win. That's Lachey. Shout out to Lachey. Did you hit the thumbs up? Where are we now with the thumbs up? Are we close to beating a record? What are some of your best-selling non-new era hats? G4 is a tremendous brand. Golf hats. What else? Polo. I love polo hats. They always do well too. G4, polo. Certain Nike hats sell fantastic as well. So I'll go G4, polo, certain Nike hats. Do you secretly have an everything store? No. What is your favorite hat? My lucky hat that you see me wearing every single flea market video that my wife says is too faded, and I ain't listening to her. That's my favorite hat. I see a lot of kids thrifting as a social experience. I agree with that. First time I've heard about multiple users with different permissions. Yeah, it's called eBay multi-user access. Go on Google and it will show you. How much for that hat? This one, this is a good one. It's got a little bit of age on it. Portland Sea Dogs. Look it up on the eBay machine. Once upon a time, minor league affiliate of the Florida Marlins. The Florida Marlins one was black with teal. This one is blue with red. Technically, it's a Red Sox one, but I wore it for our guy, Eric. And then I have this one too. I just put this one into the rotation. My wife just steamed it and shaped it. This one's got a little bit of age on it here. Wool. That's a good one there. I'll put this one in the rotation. My wife just steamed it up. Looking nice. Mark says they sold 9 items yesterday. Let's go. Everyone's already know the deal. They know it's about to be a wrap. Are there active people in Talking and Patreon 24/7? I want to use it as a body double while listing in Australia, and can't rely on most of the live US things. So we do have the 24-hour work room, and there are people in the 24-hour room 24 hours a day. I'll wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, see what's popping, and Josh and William are talking at 2 o'clock in the morning about eBay, double RL, keywords, listing items. They're in there getting it in. And a matter of fact, I'm going to say it now. I have to stay up all night tonight. I have my own personal reasons. I got to stay up all night tonight. I'm going to be jumping in the 24-hour room because when I'm on the ropes, like you guys are on the ropes, I'm going to go in the 24-hour room. I'm going to hang out, maybe talk some eBay, talk some reselling, try to help some people, because my eyes are going to get heavy in about 7 hours, 8 hours. I will be in the 24-hour room. And tonight at 5:30 a.m. our time, the Australian sellers, they have an Australian-only call hosted by Mel back from Burnout with a lot of great Australian sellers in there. So we do have a 24-hour co-working room because reselling can be lonely. We have a great community aspect. Everybody is helpful. I run a tight ship. I don't do no shenanigans. I hear about shenanigans, you're out of here. So the 24-hour work room is the same room where all the calls are held. And when there's no call held, the 24-hour work room is open and people are working. Most of the time it's silent. But if you do have a question, say, hey, anybody available? You can answer this question or give me some help. And maybe someone's over there and they can help you. Mandy says the UK peeps will keep you company overnight. That's right. I know James Bold Finds. He's in there early, but I'm going to be in there all night tonight because I got to stay up. What is the biggest issue glitch that you have ran into on eBay's interface? I think the biggest issue is the tracking uploaded on time and validated. It's very difficult with the post office when they don't want to scan your items. Real Vibes, sorry. Breeze says, what is the hat cleaning and shaping process? My wife has a little handheld steamer. We put all the hats in the washer. We put all the hats in the dryer, steam them, shape them. You got to be careful for wool hats. Those will shrink. You have to be careful with red hats. Those will bleed. Giorgio says they made the first live and left a thumbs up. Shout out to you. Flipped $1 True Religion hat into 75. That's a good one too. There are some True Religion hats I've sold for over $500 before. Mike says, do you own a desktop? We don't have a desktop. Which tier for the 24-hour workroom? That's the regular tier, $1 a day, 34 bucks a month. That gets all the live calls, all the tutorials, the Facebook group. I answer every single question myself. I do the morning call every single day. We have 30 live calls with every single niche imaginable. Right now, the media call is going on. The next call will be the Australia sellers call. After that is the morning call. After that is the beginner call. After that is the bookkeeping call. After that is the UK call. After that is the YouTube social media call. After that is the antiques and collectibles call. And then we have Friday is the morning call. We have the UK sellers call. We have the men's clothing call. We have the sports cards. We have jeans. And we have Jack with the Amazon. And that's just 2 days, my friends. Like we have 5 days of calls. We're rocking and rolling. Gem Flipper says they have that hot as well. Absolutely. You guys are on the ropes, guys. Absolutely on the ropes. Why have you never been a coffee drinker? I don't know. I've never needed it. I've never ever needed it. Customer requested return claiming never received. Tracking shows shipped USA to California, New York. Stop tracking in Albany, USPS, but never delivered. Anything I could do to resolve this? Mr. Jonathan, I have great news for you. Go to the back, to the beginning, and I went on an absolute tirade and a rant for about 5 minutes on what to do in this situation. All the way, just go to the beginning. You'll catch up on a lot of great information. I covered that in the beginning, and that you got the good news. Do you think you can type a release of liability in your description? You could type whatever you want in your description, but it doesn't supersede eBay's principles and guidelines. You could type whatever you want. Did Isaiah back out tonight? No, Isaiah's scrap route is on Monday, so we got to wait till next week, next time. Why do people sleep on 3-inch tape dispensers? It saves a lot more tape. It's a good question, Mike. Are you going to be on the Aussie call tonight? Maybe, but no, I'm not going to be on that call tonight. I got to be somewhere and be doing something. So I got to start that call and I got to head out. But I will be staying up all night. You guys are almost done. Thrifted Spirit has a great one. Use color catchers when watching red. Absolutely. Are you going to continue wholesaling? I wholesale just for fun, man, just to give me something to do. Sometimes people like to play golf. Sometimes people like to go fishing. I like to make money. Money is what I love to do. I love wheeling and dealing. I like making deals. I like selling stuff. It's what I like to do. I'm as long as I can wheel and deal, I'm going to be wheeling and dealing with the doctor on my deathbed. Can you make a full-time living selling only Ralph Lauren? 1,000%. And inside of the group, we have a Polo deep dive. If you watch the Polo deep dive, you will pay for the entire year of the group with one call. What is the method for inputting a custom SKU for drafts? If you are on your desktop, there is a section for custom SKU. If not, you can go to your draft and those tables are editable, kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. Perhaps you can do it there, but it's kind of a pain. I would do it on the computer. Where are we? How can I create some media controversy to sell my XXX Tentacion Winnie the Pooh jacket? And that was a bolo that I included in the last bolo video that I did from Disneyland I don't think you need any controversy, my friend. You throw it up there and you'll bring all the boys to the yard. How do I get involved with the call groups? You just got to show up at the right time. That's it. Is there any more questions? Did I beat it? Did I beat it? I'll let it jump one more time just because I'm feeling generous. What do you think is the main difference between long-term good resale brands and brands that die out? Classic supply and demand. If there is too many items on eBay and not enough customers, the price is going to go down. If there's more customers than what's on eBay, the price is going to remain high. So like Filson has been around for over 100 years. Price remains high because it's hard to find, hard to put on eBay. Whereas, you know, companies have only been around for like a handful of years, and it's so saturated on eBay that the price goes down. Where is the 24-hour chat in the group? It is in the same call, the same room that all the other calls are in the group. So 49 week in a row world champion, this guy. We have beat the chat. The chat is over. I appreciate everybody for hanging in, everybody jumping in. Like Mandy said, all the directions for the group are in the pin post. If you need some help, send me a message. If you need some help, make a post and I'll give you the good news. But we have beat the chat. I even went slow and let you guys get a couple jumps, but the chat is over. 49 week in a row world champion. If I don't get to talk to you again, I appreciate everybody forever. We know the good that came out of eBay Open. A little bit of bad, maybe. I don't know. But the ugly on eBay Open was right here. Right here, my friend. The ugly of eBay Open was right here. So I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Everybody spam the chat. Put some emoticons. Put a birthday cake. Put a balloon. Put something. Feed the algorithm a little bit. And all of my videos, hit the algorithm. Give me a comment. Please give me a comment. Give me a comment underneath and help me with the algorithm. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Be great. Adios.